हाँ.
Hi. Shall we begin? Yes.
Yes.
Chalu kare? Okay.
Karo.
So I'll start by introducing myself again for those who do not know me. I've been here before for Kaun Banega Crorepati. So my name is Tejal Shah. I reside in Matunga. By profession, I'm a lecturer at Yoga Vidya Niketan. I've done my management. I've done diploma in Yogic Science. I've done diploma in Naturopathy. I have done diploma in Psyco-Therapy. And
Very good.
I'm also a counselor. So this is who I am, or socially as we introduce ourselves, right? So today's topic is breathing and well-being. Okay. So what we'll do is I would want you all to participate with me. So okay, there'll be few exercises between my talk. Okay, so that you also participate and it becomes two-sided rather than वो एक side का भाषण हो जाएगा, right? So I'll make it interactive. Just a small request, if you can get a napkin, just get a napkin. So आगे वो जो exercise है उसमें napkin, yeah. And those who would want to note down something, you can have a pen, pencil, whatever, if you would want to. Okay. Now, why did I choose this topic? Okay, why did I choose this topic of breathing? And what is the connection, okay, between breathing and well-being? मतलब इन दोनों का connection क्या है? तो आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे कि ब्रीदिंग तो मतलब हम लोग सब कर रहे हैं, ओके, फजल मैम कर रही है, रजिया मैम कर रही है, मैं भी कर रही हूँ, हम लोग सब ब्रीथ कर रहे हैं ना, उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? ब्रीथ तो हम लोग हर रोज करते हैं, 24/7 करते हैं, तो उसमें क्या सीखना है ब्रीदिंग में, राइट? तो ये ब्रीदिंग पर पूरा टॉपिक कैसे, आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे कि मैंने ये टॉपिक क्यों चूज किया. So let me give you my background. What had happened and why do I focus so much on breathing? So I reside in Matunga and we have a terrace. Okay, so this is few years back. I used to feed pigeons. मैं बहुत pigeons को feed करती थी. And pigeons basically carry a lot of germs and worms, you know, in their wings when they fly. So what had happened was I got ILD. That is the disease of lung. Okay, it didn't get very serious. Okay, it was just the start. But during that phase of ILD, there were times I could not breathe. And I realized how precious, okay, breathing is, how precious breathing is. Since we all are breathing, we take it for granted. But you know, patients who have asthma, okay, patients who have sleep apnea, they realize how difficult, you know, breathing is and how important breathing is. Okay, जब हम properly सांस लेते हैं, तो उसका हमको importance तभी मालूम पड़ता है जब हम properly सांस नहीं ले सकते हैं. लाइफ की ये आयरनी है, हर चीज जो कोई चली जाती है ना, तभी हमें उसका इंपॉर्टेंस पता चलता है. तो तब से मेरा इंटरेस्ट ब्रीथिंग में बहुत बढ़ गया, यू नो, व्हाई ब्रीथिंग, एंड आई स्टार्टेड रीडिंग एंड यू नो अटेंडिंग लेक्चर्स एंड ऑल द स्टफ. सो दिस इज माय बैकग्राउंड, दैट व्हाई डिड आई चूज दिस टॉपिक, ओके, एंड व्हाट एम आई गोइंग टू शेयर विथ यू ऑल. सो हम लोग एक एक्सरसाइज करेंगे. 1 मिनट का मैं टाइमर सेट करती हूँ, और कुड आई आस्क समबडी एल्स टू सेट अ टाइमर फॉर 1 मिनट. आई विल से स्टार्ट. आप अपने फोन में भी सेट कर सकते हो. ऐसे स्टार्ट. 1 मिनट में आपको नॉर्मली और नेचुरली ब्रीथ करना है, मतलब ज्यादा एफर्ट नहीं, जैसे नेचुरली हम आप लोग ब्रीथ करते हो ना. ब्रीदिंग का मतलब है, एक पहले सुनो आप लोग, एक इनहेलेशन प्लस एक एक्सहेलेशन का मतलब एक ब्रेथ होती है. 1 इनहेलेशन एंड व्हेन आई एक्सहेल आउट 1 एक्सहेलेशन इज इक्वल टू 1 ब्रेथ. तो आपको 1 मिनट में नंबर ऑफ ब्रेथ्स काउंट करनी है, और आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, अटेंटिव नहीं होना, आपको नेचुरली नॉर्मली ब्रीथ करना है, लेकिन नंबर ऑफ ब्रेथ्स काउंट करनी है. And be honest, okay? So I'll say start. Could somebody keep a check, Trusha ma'am?
Yes, I can do.
Yeah, I'll say start and you set the timer for a minute.
Yes.
And आप लोग naturally और normally breathe करो, और सब लिख लो कि कितनी आपकी breath हुई, number of breaths, okay? So I'll say a start, okay? Be sit in a relaxed way, आराम से बैठिए, okay? और naturally और normally breathe करो. एक अंदर जाएगी सांस, बाहर आएगी. Inhalation, exhalation is 1 breath, okay? So I'll say start. You got to count it. Trusha ma'am, tell them to stop. Trusha ma'am?
No. I will say.
Yeah.
Stop.
एग्जैक्ट फिगर भी नहीं होगा, लेकिन अप्रोक्सीमेटली कितनी ब्रेथ्स हुई आप जरा लिख लेना. ओके, विल टॉक अबाउट इट लेटर. ओके, सो लेट मी शेयर दिस इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट विथ यू कि ब्रीदिंग और आपका लाइफ स्पैन कनेक्टेड है. हाउ मच आर यू गोइंग टू लिव इज वेरी क्लोजली कनेक्टेड टू द नंबर ऑफ ब्रेथ्स यू टेक पर मिनट. ओके, नाउ लेट मी गिव यू अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जांपल. आपने स्क्विरल देखी है? खरगोश, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? खरगोश नहीं, स्क्विरल को क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? उसको क्या बोलते हैं? व्हाट डू यू कॉल अ स्क्विरल? गिलहरी. राइट, आपने गिलहरी को देखा है ना?
किसको?
हाँ, गिलहरी देखा है. राइट, उसको देखा है. कितनी रेस्टलेस होती है गिलहरी. ओके, इतना रेस्टलेसनेस होता है ना. आप उसको देखते हो तो चंचल बोलते हैं ना, द गिलहरीज वुड कीप ऑन जंपिंग एंड रनिंग एंड या. आपने एक एलिफेंट को देखा है चलते हुए? यू नो, द एलिफेंट वॉक सो स्लोली, यू नो, अपना टाइम लेके वो आराम से चलता है. ऑफ कोर्स द साइज इज आल्सो देयर, बट सो मैंने क्यों ये एग्जांपल दिया? तो ये जो स्क्विरल है ना, गिलहरी, can somebody make a guess of how many breaths does a squirrel take in a minute? You will be surprised to know this. How many breaths? Okay, you can raise your hand and answer. How many breaths do squirrel, okay, does a squirrel take in a minute? A guess approximately. Kitni breaths leti?
30.
It goes to, you know what, you'll be surprised, 30. It goes to 80 to 100 breaths a minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, 82.
80 to 100 breaths a minute. And what do you think an elephant would breathe? How many times do you think an elephant would breathe in a minute? Approximately. Andaz. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति नहीं है ये, but you can
5 बार.
Okay, so very close. It is approximately 3 to 4 times a minute. Just 3 to 4 times a minute. Okay. And do you know a squirrel lives for 8 years, 8 to 10 years approximately? An elephant lives for 80 to 100 years. Oh. Right? Interesting. And what do you think? How many breaths do humans take? एक range आप दो अगर हो सके तो किसी को पता. How many?
15 to 20. 15 to 20.
Yeah, it goes. The range is 12 to 30. Okay, on the lower side it is 12 and upper side 30. It varies from person to person. There are Zen masters and there are people who meditate for a long time. They are always in alpha state. Alpha state मतलब वो उनकी breath somewhere around 8 to 11 में fluctuate होती रहती है. इतने काम होते हो, 8 to 11 breaths a minute, right? So this is how the connection of longevity, आपका lifespan breath से connected है. और क्यों connected है? For example, एक कार है, right? उसमें आपने फ्यूल डाला, तो आप कितनी स्पीड पे कार को भगाते हो? डिपेंड्स, आई मीन द फ्यूल डिपेंड्स ऑन द हाउ मच वुड द फ्यूल लास्ट, डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ फास्ट द कार रन्स. ओके, आपकी कार बहुत फास्ट जा रही है तो फ्यूल ज्यादा कंज्यूम होगा. आपकी कार स्लो जा रही है तो फ्यूल ज्यादा चलेगा. एज सिंपल एज दैट. ओके, सो द ब्रीदिंग इज द फ्यूल ऑफ आवर बॉडी. हम लोग जितना फास्ट, हाइपर, सुपर एक्साइटेड, स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशंस में रहेंगे, उतना फ्यूल ज्यादा यूज कर देंगे, उतनी बॉडी अनहेल्दी होती जाएगी. ओके, सो ब्रीदिंग इज द बेसिक फंडामेंटल ब्लॉक ऑफ योर हेल्थ. And you know what, surprisingly, people don't talk about this. People talk about pranayam. Of pranayam, people talk about meditation, people talk about diet, people talk about hydration, water therapy. But ये सब चीज किस पे बिल्ट हुई है, उसकी बात हम नहीं करते हैं, which is very surprising. राइट, प्राणायाम से आगे पहले प्रीकर्सर है ब्रीदिंग. अगर आप प्रॉपरली ब्रीथ करते हो तो ही आप प्राणायाम कर सकते हो. नाउ हम लोग शुरू से फिर से शुरू करते हैं कि ब्रीदिंग क्या है. राइट, आप लोगों की ब्रीदिंग तो क्या है? ब्रीदिंग इज वन, टेक्निकली ब्रीदिंग इज वन इनहेलेशन प्लस वन एक्सहेलेशन. हिंदी में बोले तो पूरक, बिकॉज यू टेक इन द ऑक्सीजन, टेक इन द एयर, एंड रेचक, ओके, यू एक्सहेल आउट द एयर. What does it do? The air contains different gases. You take in the oxygen. वो ऑक्सीजन सब बॉडी पार्ट्स को ब्लड सप्लाई करता है टू ईच एंड एवरी सेल ऑफ आवर बॉडी. और जो वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, वो हम बाहर फेंक देते हैं. सिंपल टर्म्स में ये ब्रीदिंग है. राइट, पर आपने सुना होगा प्राण एनर्जी, ची, ताई ची भी अभी थोड़े दिन पहले हुआ. यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड अबाउट ची एनर्जी, प्राण एनर्जी, यूनिवर्सल एनर्जी, सुना है राइट आपने कि. तो योगिक साइंस में ब्रीदिंग को प्राण एनर्जी बोलते हैं, सिर्फ ऑक्सीजन नहीं, बिकॉज दे बिलीव दैट अलोंग विद द ऑक्सीजन, okay, there is this universal force that we take in, right? Now आज का जमाना क्या है, हरी बरी एंड करी, सब फास्ट है, एवरीथिंग फास्ट फूड, पिज्जा, okay, that slow cooking bhakri is gone, the fast pizza in the oven has come in, सब कुछ सबको फास्ट चाहिए, रिजल्ट भी फास्ट चाहिए, लाइक्स भी, शेयर, सब कुछ फास्ट हो गया है ना. तो ये फास्ट लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम क्या हो जाता है, वी कांट स्लो डाउन आवरसेल्व्स, राइट? दैट वी हैव फॉरगॉटन दिस ब्यूटीफुल आर्ट ऑफ स्लोइंग डाउन, ब्यूटीफुल आर्ट ऑफ रिलैक्सेशन. तो मैं ये बोल रही हूँ, आप कितने लोग आप अग्री करते हो कि हम लोग अपने थॉट्स को, इतने थॉट्स चलते रहते हैं माइंड में, इतने थॉट्स चलते रहते हैं, वांटेड अनवांटेड, कि हम लोग उनको स्टॉप नहीं कर पाते. हाउ मेनी पीपल फेस दिस? आई फेस दिस, राइट? सो मेनी ऑफ अस फेस कि हमको सोना है, वी वांट टू स्लीप बट वी कांट कंट्रोल द थॉट्स, दे आर कमिंग इन एंड गोइंग आउट एंड कमिंग इन एंड, या अग्री? आप अग्री करते हो उससे? या तो क्या बोलते हैं, माइंड इज अ मंकी. माइंड क्या है? मंकी है. माइंड की तो, बिकॉज माइंड सर्वाइवल का टूल है, आपको माइंड चाहिए, तो माइंड इज लाइक अ मंकी. मंकी का नेचर क्या है? एक ब्रांच से दूसरी ब्रांच पर जंप करना. अभी वो मंकी है ना, तो मंकी तो जंप करेगा ही करेगा. सो आपका माइंड है, उसका काम ही है टू थिंक, तो वो तो अपना काम नहीं छोड़ेगा ना. हाँ, प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गया है, ओवर ड्राइव में चला गया है माइंड. नाउ लॉट ऑफ पीपल कम टू मी एंड से, सो हाउ टू कंट्रोल द माइंड? Okay, how do I control my meditation is one of the techniques. कि आप बैठो, आराम से आंख बंद करो and no thoughts, or just watch the thoughts. Lot of people come to me and say, while we meditate we have more thoughts. जितने normally आते हैं उससे भी ज्यादा thoughts आ जाते हैं meditation में, and then you get tired or you can't do it and you leave it. Or deep down you know that okay, you were trying to meditate but you couldn't, the thoughts were not going away. Do we experience this while meditating? होता है, राइट? क्यों होता है? तो ब्रीदिंग और माइंड का बहुत ही क्लोज कनेक्शन है. I'll explain you how. I'll explain everything. Okay, very interestingly I'll try to simplify and explain कि ब्रीदिंग का और माइंड का कैसे कनेक्शन है. तो संस्कृत में एक श्लोक है, चले वाते चले चित्तम निश्चल निश्चले भवति. उसका मतलब है चले वाते, ओके, और ब्रीदिंग is connected to your mind. चले चित्तम निश्चले निश्चल भवति. अगर आपका ब्रीदिंग नॉर्मल, नेचुरल, काम हो गया तो आपका माइंड भी स्लो डाउन करता है. सो योर माइंड, okay, and your emotions are very closely connected to breathing. I'll explain you how and you will also realize this. आप सबको थोड़ा अभी अपना इमेजिनेशन पावर यूज करना है. ओके, अब आप इमेजिन करो, ओके, सबको इमेजिन करना है तो मजा आएगा, वरना इट वोंट बी पार्टिसिपेटिव. आप इमेजिन करो, और मजा आता है एक्चुअली पार्टिसिपेट करने में. इमेजिन करो कि आपको जो पसंद नहीं है ना वो आपके सामने है, कोई भी हो सकता है, यू डोंट हैव टू नेम. ओके, could be your mother-in-law, could be your daughter-in-law, could be your spouse, could be anybody that you do not like. Just imagine that person in front of you and imagine arguing with the person. Okay, so for example, I'm not naming name, I'm arguing with somebody. Okay, मेरे सामने एक person है जिससे मेरा नहीं जमता है and I'm arguing with that person. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So how would I argue? Oh, please don't do this. Oh, please keep it here. Am I going to argue this way or am I going to fight this way? How am I going to fight? Stop this. Don't you dare do this. You do not understand me. आप तो मुझे समझ ही नहीं सकते हो. बॉडी लैंग्वेज कैसी हो जाएगी? हाइपर. फेस कैसा हो जाएगा? रेड, फ्लश्ड. और ब्रीदिंग कैसी हो जाएगी? फास्ट, इरेग्युलर हो जाएगी. कैसी हो जाएगी? फास्ट एंड इरेग्युलर. जब आपकी फाइट और आर्ग्यूमेंट्स खत्म हो जाए ना, तब यहाँ पे हाथ रखो. योर हार्ट बीट्स फास्टर. टक 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 होता है ना. तो जब फाइट कर ली ना, तो आपको टाइम लगता है टू कम डाउन टू योर नॉर्मल नेचुरल ब्रीदिंग एंड टू योर नॉर्मल नेचुरल स्टेट. हैव यू ऑल एक्सपीरियंस दिस? It's a very day-to-day experience. All of us experience this. While we fight, while we fight, ना face flush हो जाता है, body and hand का movements बढ़ जाता है, tone raise हो जाता है, sorry. Yeah, this is, and the breathing, most importantly, I'm trying to establish here a connection between emotion and breathing. How are they connected? It's very beautiful. Just listen. तो ये anger हो गया, breathing हो गई, right? Now I'll come to a scenario B. Okay, फिर से आपको imagination use करना है, but this time you have to close your eyes. I will imagine a scenario for you. You just have to sit and relax. Just close your eyes and listen to my voice. Okay, so all of you are sitting near a sea, relaxed, calm. You're watching the beautiful sea with the waves slowly rising up and down. You're enjoying the scenario. There are birds chirping around. There's this beautiful blue sky. Your mind is completely free of fighting thoughts. And you're enjoying yourself. You're relaxed, completely relaxed. You can open your eyes now, slowly. How was your breathing? How was your breathing? Can somebody share? How was your breathing? And how are you feeling right now?
Calm and quiet.
Yes. Just a minute. Yeah, just a minute ago.
Relaxed.
Very peaceful or
Relax.
very
Exactly. Because when you think about something that gives you joy, your breathing automatically goes down. And vice versa, when you slow down your breathing, ऐसे connection है, so your mind also goes into the state of calm. So directly mind को control करना बहुत ही difficult है, क्योंकि mind is like a monkey, and if you tell a monkey not to sit here, believe me, the monkey is going to sit there. Even we humans are like that, you know, forget about monkey. हमको जो ना बोलते हैं वही हम करते हैं, because वो एक curiosity होती है ना, why no, right? So अगर हम mind को बोले thoughts नहीं चाहिए, okay, right now I'm asking you not to think about an elephant. What are you going to think about right now? सबने elephant को सोचा होगा, right? So basically they say that it's difficult to control your mind. So the sages and the rishis of the yesteryears found out that there's a strong connection between breathing and your mind and your emotions. So what we can do is we have a simple, beautiful tool of breathing given to us by nature. It's free of charge. There are no props required. You can do it anywhere, wherever you are. No special setting required. But क्या होता है ना, unfortunately life में जो simple होता है ना, we overlook it. We like complicated things, you know, we like things which are expensive because we feel good quality. We like things which are complicated because वहाँ पे लगता है हाँ intelligence होगा, वहाँ पे कुछ तो there must be something very technical, and you know, yeah, something which is simple will just not attract our attention. But believe me, nature is a mother. Nature has simplified everything for us. A mother would simplify everything for a child, right? You wouldn't complicate things for your children, would you? Of course not. Since you love them, you want them to grow, you would simplify it. You would not complicate it. So breathing is this beautiful, effective tool we can use to control our mind and our emotions. Yeah. So I'll give you what happens when you breathe irregularly, when you breathe fast, when you breathe shallow. You have a lot of problems like there's no sufficient oxygen, the pressure goes up, the heartbeat goes up. Okay, there's this lack of sleep, there's this lack of complete digestion. All these are connected to breathing. Okay, I'll explain you scientifically also. Thoda technical terms aa jayega, but I'll have to. So bear with me. Okay, it is. So what happens? We have two nostrils. Okay, we have two nostrils, left and right. Okay, they've been given for a reason. तो योग में, okay, योगिक साइंस में लेफ्ट नॉस्ट्रिल को चंद्र नाड़ी बोलते हैं, लेफ्ट नॉस्ट्रिल को चंद्र नाड़ी बोलते हैं, और राइट नॉस्ट्रिल को सूर्य नाड़ी बोलते हैं, मून एंड सन. नाउ व्हाई? You know, sun, when the sun rises, or we rise up to the sun, actually the sun never rises technically. So when we rise up to sun, क्या करते हैं? We get the energy to work. Okay, होता है ना, we are activated. And what does the moon do? जब रात को moon निकलता है, क्या करता है? It calms you down. Okay, it gives you rest. The body is resting, the body is repairing, the body is digesting. All the repair work happens after 8 o'clock. You know this? That there's this biological circadian cycle. After that's the reason they say eat early. It's off the topic, but I'm connecting it. Yeah. So sun and moon. अभी science में आपकी जो nervous system है ना, nervous system is divided. The central nervous system is divided. Brain है एक सबको, spinal cord है, and there is something called as autonomic nervous system. Now ये autonomic nervous थोड़ा technical है. Bear with me. I'll come down to interesting examples too. Autonomic nervous system is divided into two parts: parasympathetic and sympathetic. अभी ये दोनों का काम क्या है? Sympathetic is equal to sun, क्योंकि sympathetic nervous system, you can then Google it if you want to, actually makes you activated, actually gives you energy for work. Okay, it is responsible for fight, flight, and freeze. And parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for rest and digest. Now, कैसे ये काम होता है? I'll explain with an example. So, for example, you've gone to Africa. Okay, आप सफारी पे हो. Okay, सफारी पे हो तो आपको एक lion दिखा. Okay, you seeing a, oh, there's this lion that comes in front of you. Now, what happens? The body goes into survival mode. Your heartbeat goes up, the blood pressure goes up. Okay, the blood that goes to the digestion is the stops going to the digestion. Okay, it's called for because the blood is required, goes to the limbs. आपके पैरों पे चला जाता है. Why? Because you have to run for your life. तो बॉडी क्या सोचती है? आप भाग लो पहले, फिर डाइजेशन तो आराम से होगा, फिर you can have your coffee. Right now you're required to run. So the body, okay, goes into this sympathetic overdrive. Overdrive का मतलब है everything that is required for you to survive happens. Simple है ना, survival है. पहले तो life है तो सब कुछ है, right? तो survival comes first. So that is sympathetic nervous system. अभी the lion goes away. The lion is gone. Okay. Now what do you need to do? अभी lion चला गया तो आपको क्या करना है? अभी आप fighting mode में नहीं रह सकते हो ना forever. आपको क्या करना है? आपको रिलैक्स करना है. तो बॉडी का ब्यूटीफुल मैकेनिज्म देखो. पैरासिम्पैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम टेक्स ओवर. ओके, एंड इट एक्चुअली गिव्स यू नाउ डाइजेशन, इट गिव्स यू रेस्ट. ओके, तो ये लेफ्ट और राइट जो है ना नॉस्ट्रिल्स, उसका भी एक स्पेसिफिक ब्रीदिंग है. ओके, वो हम लोग करेंगे अभी. तो क्या है? तो लेफ्ट नाड़ी जो है ना चंद्र नाड़ी ब्रीदिंग. ओके, और एक है राइट सूर्य नाड़ी ब्रीदिंग. तो ये कहाँ पे काम आएगा? ओके, अभी आप लॉजिक अप्लाई करो. जब आपको रिलैक्स करना हो, ओके, जब आप बहुत ही हाइपर हो, आपको यू नीड टू रिलैक्स. योर माइंड इज नॉट स्टॉपिंग, यू नीड टू स्लो डाउन योर माइंड. What will you do? Which kind of breathing will you do? From left hand side or from your right hand side? Yes, from your left hand side. So believe me, this is a very effective breathing. जिनको headache बहुत होता है, okay, this is a very practical tip. जिनको बहुत headaches होते हैं, जिनको स्ट्रेस है, एंजाइटी है, जिनको नींद नहीं आती है, वो लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? लेट्स ऑल डू इट. सिंपल है. आपको राइट थंब लो, राइट हैंड साइड का, सिट स्ट्रेट. ओके, राइट हैंड साइड का नॉस्ट्रिल क्लोज करो और लेफ्ट से सिर्फ ब्रीथ करना है. ब्रीथ इन एंड ब्रीथ आउट ओनली थ्रू योर लेफ्ट नॉस्ट्रिल. एक इनहेलेशन, एक एक्सहेलेशन. Very good. While breathing in, the chest goes up. While breathing out, the chest goes down. While breathing in, the chest goes up. While breathing out, the chest goes down. तो ये, yeah. So this left side, left नाड़ी breathing, जिनको headache हो, जिनको slow down करना हो, बहुत ही anxiety हो रही है, blood pressure आपका बढ़ गया है, so this is a very effective remedy. I'm not making tall claims here, okay? You got to experience it yourself. I do it, it works for me. There are no side effects, right? You can do it. So usko likh lena hai to likh lo. It is left nadi breathing, also known as Chandra nadi breathing. Now, for example, up evening mein, after the whole day's work, okay, there is a decline in your energy evening mein, and somebody comes home and asks you to make a good dinner, and you're like so tired and you're like, you don't even have the energy. What are you going to do? You need to activate your sympathetic nervous system. So now you will close your left nostril and breathe through your right. But before breathing, let me tell you, actually, I made a mistake here. I'm so sorry. I should have explained you for how do you breathe first before. So when you breathe, okay, make sure the chest, the shoulder blade. Trusha ma'am teaches you those exercises. You know, you've seen her posture. You know how her this shoulder blade is erect. So this chest goes up because it's like a balloon. जब हवा अंदर जाती है तो balloon expands and the हवा निकलती है तो balloon contracts. As simple. हमेशा balloon को mind में याद रखो तो आपको पता चल जाएगा कि आप right कर रहे हो या wrong, right? So when you breathe in, this whole thing needs to expand, and while you breathe out, it needs to contract. Okay, this is how you breathe. So अभी आप right hand side से breathe करो तो उसको बोलते हैं सूर्य नाड़ी. तो वो क्या करेगा, आपको activate कर देगा थोड़ा. Okay, see, no claims here. Okay, there are no claims. This is experiential, as in it always the proof of the pudding lies in eating, right? So you got to do it to figure out whether it works or not. But I'm giving you simple practical tips. कि headache हो, नींद नहीं आ रही हो, आपको relax करना हो, pressure बढ़ गया हो. तो these are the left and right side का Chandra Nadi and Surya Nadi breathing. Okay, even if you don't remember the name, ठीक है, अगर आप लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से ब्रीथ करो तो बेनिफिट्स मिलने वाले हैं. यू आर गोइंग टू गेट द बेनिफिट्स इवन इफ यू फॉरगेट द नेम. बट जस्ट थिंक ऑफ इट, लेफ्ट इज यूजुअली वी आर ऑल राइट हैंडेड ना, तो याद रखो कि राइट इज सन बिकॉज यूजुअली वी राइट विद द राइट. सो राइट इज सन, लेफ्ट इज मून. ओके, दिस इज हाउ यू गॉट टू रिमेंबर इट. तो ये हुआ चंद्र नाड़ी एंड सूर्य नाड़ी ब्रीदिंग. नाउ देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ब्रीदिंग. ओके, ब्रीदिंग, there are different types of breathing. There's one called shallow and fast breathing. Okay, there's another called as deep and slow breathing. All right, so let's see what is shallow and fast breathing. So have you observed children? आपके घर पे grandchildren होंगे, आपके children होंगे. Have you observed them? They are like, because they need to run around, they are curious by nature. उनकी breathing कैसी होती है हमेशा? It's always, most of the times, shallow and fast. It has to be, right? Because you're always, the child has to grow, has to figure out things, has to look around. A lot of energy is required. So most children, okay, they have shallow and fast breathing. Okay, what is deep breathing? Deep breathing is abdominal breathing. There are two types of breathing. एक होती है thoracic breathing. Thoracic is basically this area, just spinal column, but this chest area. Okay, even if you do not know, it's this chest area. Okay, so most of the times we breathe from here, chest. And there's another called as abdominal breathing. I'll teach you both. Abdominal breathing is from here, yahan se, abdomen se. Okay, the abdomen moves because that's the deep breathing. So your abdomen, your diaphragm, your chest, your shoulder bone, shoulder blades, all the organs are involved. Now let me simply explain you क्या होता है. Lungs जो है ना वो balloons की तरह काम करते हैं. Oh, think of a balloon. When you put in the air, what happens to a balloon? When you fill it with air, what happens to a balloon? It expands naturally, right? And when you take out the air, what happens to a balloon? It contracts, right? This is what happens to a balloon. So when you do it in a right way, when you breathe in a right way, okay, when I breathe in, because the air is going inside, there's a rib cage. हमारे lungs और heart को एक rib cage होता है, cage protect करता है, तो वो expand होता है. There is more room. There has to be more room, no? Otherwise you won't be able to breathe. More room. It takes in the air. The lungs take in the air. Okay, they use the oxygen. Oxygen is sent to each and every cell of the body. Basically, the heart and lungs work together, right? So the heart pumps the blood, goes to the lungs, gets oxygenated. The oxygenated blood comes back to the heart supplies it to the body. Each and every cell requires oxygen. Each and every cell of your body requires oxygen because it's the fuel. It helps, it's the energy, it's the currency. And brain takes up a lot of oxygen. Being so small, brain takes up a lot of oxygen. Of course, because brain has to carry out so many functions. So, क्या होता है कि this is how one should breathe. Balloon को याद रखना है. You know, would you believe this? We all assume that we breathe normally and naturally. All of us, right? Most of the times we assume that we are breathing normally and naturally. I've been to this workshop few years back, okay, and we were asked to breathe, and all of us were breathing. And then we were asked that what happens to your abdomen, okay, while you breathe in. My abdomen was caving in rather than going out. It has to expand. And there were people like me who were not breathing normally and naturally. And for so many years, we didn't even know that we were not breathing correct. You know, and we think, you know, कि हम लोग diet करते हैं, इतना सारा पैसा diet पे खर्च करते हैं to figure out the diets, to figure out, to figure out what kind of exercises do we need, to figure out what kind of therapy we need, okay, for your mind, body, health. Do we do this? Most of us, right? Try to figure out ways. But how many of us do focus on breathing? Be honest. I did not few years back. IRD was my waking call, you know. So most of us overlook this. And do you know the benefits of breathing naturally and normally are immense. So the moment you start breathing normally and naturally, what happens is, up logically socho, you get sufficient oxygen. Oxygen reaches to all your organs. All your organs are healthy. Your heart is working well. Your lungs are working well. Your gut is working well. Your excretory system is working well. All the systems are dependent on breathing. Do you know how long can we go without breathing? How long can we go without food? How much do you think can we go without food? Approximately, हम कितना time रह सकते हैं बिना food के? It is 3 weeks approximately. How many time or how many days can we go without water? Approximately 3 days, okay, without water. And how many minutes can we go without breathing? यहाँ पे minutes की बात आ गई. Without breathing, it is 3 minutes. More than 3 minutes and it's done. So imagine the hierarchy सोचो ना कि बिना फूड के बॉडी 3 हफ्ते चल सकती है, बिना पानी के भी 3 दिन चल सकती है, लेकिन बिना सांस के 3 मिनट भी नहीं. तो ऑब्वियसली नेचर ने कुछ बनाया होगा ये मशीनरी, तब सोचा होगा ना कि ब्रीदिंग कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है ना. और ब्रीदिंग सेमी वॉल्यूंटरी है. सेमी वॉल्यूंटरी का मतलब क्या है? नेचर ने थोड़ा हमको पावर दिया है और 75% खुद के पास रखा है. क्यों पता है? नेचर को पता है हम इतने फुलिश है ना कि जल्दी में तो हम लोग ब्रीदिंग भी भूल जाए और हम लोग सोचे कि ब्रीदिंग की भी जरूरत नहीं है, लेट्स गो ऑन विदाउट ब्रीदिंग. व्हाई डू वी नीड टू वेस्ट टाइम ऑन ब्रीदिंग? अभी का जनरेशन तो वैसा है, दिल थिंक व्हाई डू वी नीड टू वेस्ट टाइम, राइट? वी वांट टू रश, वी वांट टू अचीव समथिंग, एंड व्हाट हैपेंस आफ्टर अचीविंग? आफ्टर you've achieved, you back to square one. No, अभी तो ये अचीव हो गया. Okay, now it is no more exciting. Now what else to go for? Does it happen? हमको लगता है no, only if I achieve this will I be happy. Once you achieve it, na, it is diminishing marginal utility. Okay, there's a law of diminishing marginal utility. एक बार जो चीज अचीव हो गई ना, वो इतनी इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं रहती है. वो दुनिया का कुछ भी हो, ट्रेजर हो, कुछ भी हो, right? So basically you need to realize this, that it never stops, and hence the mind never stops, and hence the stress never goes away. Stress is a big multi-billion business. या अब जब भी जिसके पास भी देखो ना, ये स्ट्रेस वर्ड इतना लूजली लोग यूज करते हैं. ओ आई कांट फाइंड माय फेवरेट ड्रेस, आई एम स्ट्रेस्ड. Oh, you can't be stressed all the time. You've not found your favorite dress and you can't be stressed. Okay, right? आप लोग तो लाइक आप लोग ने आपके टाइम पे बहुत कुछ किया है, राइट? You've raised 3, 4 children, you've done lot of physical work, right? तभी भी स्ट्रेस तो था, but people never talked about stress all the time. Did you? आप लोग ने, right? I don't remember my mom talking about stress every half an hour. Oh, I'm so stressed. Oh, I'm so stressed. It's become fashionable, hasn't it? It has become fashionable to talk about stress because you know लोगों को लगता है इनको स्ट्रेस है तो मतलब ये बिजी है, इनको स्ट्रेस नहीं तो लाइफ में कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, है ना? So our associations have gone so wrong that this is the problem. Okay, now this is a little digression. Coming back to breathing. Okay, so what did we learn? We learned the left side, right side breathing. We learned the thoracic breathing. Okay, and we learned the abdominal breathing. Okay, now what are we going to do? We are going to do Swashana Marga Shuddhi. It's a kriya. Now before any kind of breathing, आप morning में, evening में ये कर सकते हो. It's a kriya basically. Okay, ये क्रिया क्या है? तो आप एक नैपकिन अपने हाथ में रखो, सिर्फ क्रॉस लेग, आप क्रॉस लेग बैठो. ओके, जिन्होंने ग्लासेस पहना है वो आप निकाल सकते हो. ओके, या basically Swashana Marg is basically your respiratory tract, the whole. Okay, right from the larynx here to down here near the lungs. Okay, the whole respiratory tract. So sit cross-legged. Okay, keep your back erect. Okay, this is to clear out Okay, all those impurities that you have, the blockages that you have, those who have severe congestion in your nose, contraindication, please don't do it. Okay, those who have severe sore throat problem, please don't do it. Okay, rest, all of us can practice this. Keep a napkin with you. Okay, take your hand like this, parallel to the ground. Okay, ye fingers closed, yeah, and just slightly press. Okay, just slightly press your यहाँ पे nostril. You don't have to press it too hard, but ये parallel होना चाहिए ताकि थोड़ा सा दबाव आए. Sit straight. All of you all try to sit straight. Okay. Now you just see me and then you can practice. Okay. Just I'll show you once. Now keep a hand near your abdomen. आप abdomen के पास हाथ रखो. अपना हाथ. Try to breathe fast and with the help of your abdomen. Okay. मैं count दूंगी आपको. आपको abdomen पे हाथ रखना है. आपका abdomen अंदर जाना चाहिए. मतलब पूरे force से air को बाहर फेंकनी है. Napkin से फिर हम लोग will clean it up. Okay. Don't worry about it because the impurities better be outside rather than inside. Okay. So don't close it too hard. Just keep a thumb here. Okay. And we'll 10 count. Okay. That way 10 count. So now I'll give you count for your left nostril, then your right nostril, and then with both the nostrils. Okay. So all of you all, please keep your hand parallel to the ground. Sit cross-legged, parallel. So parallel. Okay. Because and now from the abdomen, keep a hand near the abdomen and breathe forcefully. Here the word is forcefully. आपको forcefully breathe करना है, अंदर से पूरा बाहर निकालना है हवा को. I'll give you the count. Okay. Let's start. 1, forcefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we'll do it with another nostril. आप दूसरे nostril को press करो. Yeah. Just clean it if you want to. Yeah. And keep your fingers closed. Your hand parallel to the ground. See, the technique makes a difference. Hand, यहाँ पे your elbow is parallel to the ground. Now I will give you the count and you will exhale forcefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Okay, you can wipe it off if you want to. And now you have to do it with both the nostrils. दोनों नाक से, जैसे कपालभाति होती है ना, आपको abdominal यहाँ पे हाथ रखो तो आपको पता चलेगा कि right है या wrong है. Forcefully through both the nostrils. 1, 2, yeah, the chest will 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is called as Shwasana Marga Shuddhi Kriya. Before any pranayam or before breathing, alternate anulom vilom bhi aap karte honge, right? Before any kind of pranayam, this is the precursor, the basic requirement. You have to clean the passage. क्योंकि बहुत सारी impurities, blockages होते हैं, तो इससे क्या होता है? Forceful exhalation से you throw out. Okay, so this is like whenever you feel this is very needed during COVID time. Yeah, this is very important to keep your nasal passage and your respiratory tract clean. This is very helpful, very simple and helpful during these COVID waves. Okay, बहुत simple है. And tell me, is it effective? ये सब simple है, कोई props की जरूरत नहीं है. आपकी body आपका prop है, आपका lungs आपके prop है. और कुछ किसी चीज में आपको invest नहीं करना है. Setting भी आप, ये तो चीज आप ऑफिस में भी कर सकते हो. Am I making sense to all of you all? Yeah, are you able to relate? Yeah, because it shouldn't be like, okay, yeah, is it interesting enough?
Yes.
So all your feedback is more than welcome. Okay, so that I can improve upon. If I come up with something the next time, okay, I can make it more interactive, little more two-way. Okay, so
Very informative or very interesting.
I'm so glad you all liked it. And see,
Yes.
I mean, this is like right now we've learned about breathing. Then we can move on, okay, to pranayam. Then we can move on to basics of meditation. Okay, I've done my meditation workshop also. And so we can progress in a slow and steady and analogical fashion. So we'll go to grade 1, then we'll go to grade 2, and we'll go to grade 3. Now then we'll jump directly into grade 8, okay, forgetting all the other grades, right? It has to be from the foundation. And hence breathing is so very important, because a lot of pranayam workshops also do not actually mention about normal natural breathing, about the different types of breathing before starting or explaining about pranayam. You know what is the difference between pranayam? Prana is your breath. Ayam is to control. Manipulated breathing is called pranayam. And hence I said breathing is semi-voluntary because we can manipulate breathing. Pranayam में हम manipulate करते हैं breathing को for our benefit. तो अभी तो ये सब जाने दो, सिंपल है. आप कभी भी हो ना, आप 1 मिनट में अपनी approximately breath check करो. How many? Okay, I forgot to ask you. Yeah, I asked you to. Let us see.
How
Okay,
many?
how many breaths? Could you just share with me how many breaths? Because there is something interesting that I'll share with you. If you tell me the number.
70.
Razia ma'am. Okay.
70.
All right. आप लोग ने सबने लिखा हुआ है. Now I'm going to
Yes.
tell you. There are 5 states of brain. Okay, brain के 5 states हैं. उसको बोलते हैं delta, theta, alpha, beta and gamma. Forget about the names. Delta में 0 to 3 waves होता है per second. Theta में 4 to 8 waves होता है per second. Alpha में 8 to 14 होता है per second. Beta में 15 to 30 होता है. ना अभी इसका मतलब क्या है कि so there was this research being made on people Zen meditators, okay? People who meditated for almost 20 years of their life, 30 years of their life. So fMRI hook करके कुछ होता है, if you know about it, functional magnetic resonance imaging. It's called fMRI. So you can actually see real time brain की functioning. तो उनके ना हमेशा वो कौन से स्टेट में रहते हैं पता है? Most of them are in the alpha state. It is just 18 to 14 waves. आप imagine करो ना ocean को 14 to 18 waves per second, as opposed to most of us who are in the beta zone of 15 to 30, some people above 30. So imagine a brain 18 to 14, and see all the states are required. I'm not claiming here that only one state is desirable and another is not. All the states are required. So if you want to work, you need to be in that beta state. But if you want to relax, you have to go down to alpha state. Most of us do not know how to be in the alpha state. And do you know this? When you are in alpha state, okay, there's this beautiful, blissful feeling. हम लोग जो सुनते हैं ना कि वो beautiful, blissful feeling without any kind of drugs, without alcohol. No, natural high होती है. Because then there are serotonin, and you must have heard about the hormones getting released in your body. When you are in alpha state, there is this beautiful serotonin का एक होता है. The dopamine gets released. You are in this naturally in a meditative state. Imagine all of us could be in that state even for short duration of the day, in that 8 to 14 wala zone. And if not 8 to 14 wala zone, at least we can try to go near it. Because relaxation से beautiful feeling और कोई नहीं है. For me, believe me, I'm in love with my sleep. The whole world on one side and my sleep on one side. I will always choose my sleep, always. And my litmus test for the day is, if my sleep is disturbed, there's something very wrong that I've done during the day. That is my litmus test. That if I'm not able to sleep, not necessarily that it works that way for people, but sleep is your litmus test. कि आपको कितनी अच्छी नींद रात को आती है ना? तो मेडिटेशन, प्राणायाम और उससे आके ब्रीदिंग. अगर आप प्राणायाम मेडिटेशन भी ना कर पाओ और ब्रीदिंग पे सिंपल फोकस करो, तो भी आपको ब्यूटीफुल स्लीप आ सकती है. You can try out the left nadi breathing. You can try out deep breathing. Okay. अभी एक बार before we close this session for the day, एक बार बैठ के deep breathing कैसे करते हैं सीख ले पहले. Okay, so that there is no mistake. So all of you can sit cross-legged. Okay, cross-legged. And there are few markers that you have to make sure. आप कभी सोते भी हो, बैठते हो, तो आप ये मार्कर को आप एक हाथ एब्डोमेन पे रखना. एब्डोमेन पे. Sit straight. The posture has to be erect. Okay. Now, when I ask you to inhale, see whether your chest, abdomen और यहाँ पे ribs expand हो रही है कि नहीं हो रही. Okay. Breathe in completely. जितना आपकी capacity है उतनी अंदर हवा लो. Okay. And then breathe out completely. So start. Take in as much as you can. Inhale completely. Exhale out completely. Inhale completely. Very good. I see the chest rising. Exhale out completely. Inhale completely. Very good. I can see the chest rising. Exhale out completely. So was there a movement? Okay. Yeah. You can stop here. You can come back to me. Open your eyes. Was there a movement of the abdomen? एब्डोमेन का मूवमेंट था, आपने हाथ रखा था, तो कितने लोगों ने फील किया एब्डोमेन का मूवमेंट? यस. Was the chest moving? Of course, when the abdomen moves, the chest was also moving, right? Deep breathing में make sure this is the, आपके एब्डोमेन पे हाथ रखो और देखो कि एब्डोमिनल मूवमेंट होती है, डिवाइड करता है क्या, वो नीचे और ऊपर जाता है. So when you breathe through your abdomen, that diaphragm goes down completely so that you can take in completely air, and it goes up so that you can give out the air completely. Okay, so important कि आप जितना ऑक्सीजन ले सको. ऑक्सीजन इज अ फ्री गिफ्ट ऑफ नेचर. ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर पता है ना हाउ इंपॉर्टेंट दे वर ड्यूरिंग कोविड टाइम्स, हाउ इंपॉर्टेंट द ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर्स वर. We all before COVID nobody realized, I mean we were realizing, but इतना तो इम्पोर्टेंस कोविड में पता चला ना, ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस कि कितना प्रेशियस है ऑक्सीजन, है ना. नेचर तो फ्री में बांट रहा है, बोल रहा है आप जितना ले सकते हो उतना लो, बट हम लोग क्या करते हैं, उसमें भी कंजूसी करते हैं. जहां पे नहीं करनी होती है वहां पे हम कंजूसी करते हैं, यार. जहां पे हमको लेना चाहिए वहां पे लेते नहीं है. तो take in as much as oxygen you can and give out as much of carbon dioxide. You know why? How many of you love plants? I'm a avid plant lover. I'm a gardener. So give out carbon dioxide. Why? Because the plants require carbon dioxide. They require carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. तो आपका वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट है, किसी के लिए बहुत काम का प्रोडक्ट है, तो आप उसमें भी कंजूसी मत करो. ऑक्सीजन ले लो, भर भर के ले लो, जितना आप ले सकते हो, और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भर भर के बाहर फेंको. और इसके साथ आप क्या कर सकते हो, अनदर ब्यूटीफुल थिंग दैट आई डू, बिकॉज अलोंग विद ब्रीदिंग हम ये भी कर सकते हैं, ग्रैटिट्यूड कर सकते हैं, राइट? क्या कर सकते हैं ग्रैटिट्यूड? देयर इज अ दिस थिंग सो एंड हम. ओके, सो एंड हम. You know what is so hum? While you breathe in, you take the universe inside of you. The universe is going inside of you. Hum, you are surrendering to the universe, है ना, because you let go of your breath, right? You know nirvana word है, बुद्धिज्म में nirvana word है. Ecstasy word सुना है किसी ने? ecstasy. Ecstasy is out of your body experience, out of your breath experience. और निर्वाणा का भी मतलब है when you surrender, the breath goes out and you surrender. क्योंकि हम लोग जब breathe out करते हैं तो हम उतने टाइम के लिए surrender कर देते हैं ना यूनिवर्स को, because we are trusting universe to give back the oxygen. Only then we are alive, right? If you breathe out, what are you doing? You are actually trusting the universe to give you the oxygen. अगर next millisecond में ऑक्सीजन ना भी आए तो वो तो यूनिवर्स की मर्जी है ना, बट हमको वो मिलता है. तो इट इज व्हाट इज ग्रैटिट्यूड, कि आप जब अंदर सांस लो, ओके, बी ग्रेटफुल फॉर एवरीथिंग दैट यू हैव. इफ नथिंग, बी ग्रेटफुल फॉर द ऑक्सीजन दैट यू गेट. ओके, इट्स सो प्रेशियस. एंड व्हाइल यू just surrender to the universe, okay, be thankful and give it back, because since you've gotten oxygen and you are alive, you're going to give it back to the universe. So जब आप अंदर लो, सांस अंदर लो, be thankful to universe for keeping you alive, and while exhaling, be thankful to the universe for keeping everything else alive. और हम लोग कितने कनेक्टेड है पता है? कितने कनेक्टेड है? ट्रीज ऑक्सीजन ना दे तो ऑक्सीजन हमको नहीं मिलेगा, हम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ना दे तो फोटोसिंथेसिस में प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. सो एवरीथिंग इज ब्यूटीफुली कनेक्टेड. वी डू नॉट रियलाइज दिस. हम लोग को लगता है दैट ओके वी आर वेरी सेल्फ सफिशिएंट. ओके, यहाँ कृषा जी को लगता है शी इज सेल्फ सफिशिएंट. तेजल को लगता है आई एम वेरी सेल्फ सफिशिएंट, आई डोंट नीड एनीबॉडी, है ना. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स वी नो आई एम वेरी स्मार्ट इंटेलिजेंट, मुझे किसी की जरूरत नहीं. अगर कल को मुझे ऑक्सीजन ना मिले तो मेरी कोई भी स्मार्टनेस और इंटेलिजेंस काम नहीं आने वाली है ना. वो सब, वो इंटेलिजेंस कहाँ पे जाएगी? यूजलेस हो जाएगी, है ना. तो इंटेलिजेंस का भी इंपॉर्टेंस है, लेकिन उससे पहले इंपॉर्टेंस जो है कि हम लोग थैंकफुल होना सीखे, हम लोग राइट ब्रीदिंग करना सीखे, और ये सिंपल टूल ब्रीदिंग से हम लोग अपनी हेल्थ इंप्रूव करें, और कुछ ज्यादा नहीं करना. सो व्हेन यू ब्रीथ राइट, you eat right, you sleep right. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it was a pleasure sharing this with you.
Tejal,
Thank you,
I
Tejal.
like your saying soham. Soham means I'm breathing God in. So, and
Yes.
hum means I'm breathing out my I-ness, that small.
The ego that we have. Yeah, the I.
Hum, I'm breathing out all impurities and negativity. Thank you.
Beautiful man, beautiful man. Yes, I'm going to remember this now. I'm going to. Thank you so
I
much.
liked it. The whole
I have
session
to
was
okay, before I have to thank Trusha ma'am for introducing me here. We used to be together in our
Oh.
yoga institute. She was my student. I used to be the lecturer. I still am the lecturer there. And she was the one, why don't you come here once, and Mr. Saleh and the entire TAARE social team for introducing me to you all. So the medium is as
Tejal,
important.
when are we meeting next? When are you coming next?
Yeah,
On
so
Friday?
I'll think.
On Friday?
I'll have to figure that out, ma'am, because I'll think about the other topic, before I'll think about the other topic and I'll work on it,
This
and,
is a yoga institute
We
in
liked
Santa Cruz?
it. We loved
Yoga,
it.
no, ma'am, this is at Dadar, Yoga Vidya Niketan. At
Oh.
Dadar and Vashi, there are two branches of it.
Okay. Oh.
So I teach education and psychology there. I'm a lecturer of education and psychology.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've done my psychotherapy and I do counseling also.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.